In the dense jungles and fertile valleys of the Yucatán, Maya families lived in harmony with the land. Children learned to weave baskets, tend maize and beans, and recognize herbs for medicine guided by elders who carried the wisdom of generations. Every night, families gathered around fires to hear stories of God's ancestors and cities carved from stone, their spires reaching toward the heavens. Villages thrived with markets where cacao pottery and colorful cloth were traded, and the air rang with music, laughter, and the rhythm of daily life. Seasonal rituals marked planting and harvest, connecting people to the cycles of the sun and rain. Boys practiced hunting and tracking, girls learned to prepare food and preserve stories. In every corner of the villages, life was a blend of labor, learning, and celebration. The forest, rivers, and mountains were not just home, they were living teachers, shaping courage, wisdom, and identity. In the early 1500s, Spanish ships appeared on the distant coast, sails white as clouds and armor shining in the sun. Families watched as unfamiliar creatures, horses and men in iron, stormed the land, carrying demands for gold, tribute, and obedience. Some villagers were forced to labor on forts and churches. Crops were seized and villages uprooted. Mothers whispered survival lessons to children. Fathers taught them how to read the land and hide in forests when danger approached. Elders preserved sacred stories in secret, passing knowledge of ancestors' gods and sacred rivers. The Maya learned to navigate the new world, carefully balancing obedience with quiet resistance. Children continued to play, learn, and help in fields, while stories of past generations became shields against the uncertainty. The land was scarred by newcomers, but the spirit of families, the lessons of survival, and the memory of the forests and temples became anchors, ensuring that culture and history endured even under great threat. Some families resisted openly, others preserved culture quietly behind closed doors. Children learned songs and dances of their ancestors even when drums and rituals were forbidden. Elders carved glyphs into hidden stones and trees, recording stories conquerors could not erase. Families retreated deeper into forests or hills, growing maize and maintaining rituals in secrecy. Caves, riverbanks, and sacred groves became sites of hidden ceremonies, where prayers to gods continued. Stories of clever ancestors, brave warriors, and spirits of the land were shared in whispers, connecting generations through memory and tradition. Every hidden dance, every carved glyph became a lifeline, a pledge that culture would survive. Despite hunger, fear, and displacement, families nurtured hope and knowledge. Children learned lessons of courage, respect for the land, and the wisdom of elders, ensuring that even as villages fell, the heart of Maya, civilization remained alive, passed quietly from one generation to the next. By the late 1500s, many villages had been destroyed, but Maya families endured, carrying memories of their homes in hearts and stories. Children learned the songs, rituals, and wisdom of elders who spoke of the lands before conquest. Forests, rivers, and temples became symbols of identity, strength, and continuity. Families adapted to new towns while safeguarding traditions, teaching the next generation about ancestors' sacred ceremonies and survival. Stories of clever hunters, healers, and warriors lived on in whispered lessons and secret gatherings. Even as the land changed, families held on to the values that had guided them for centuries: courage, resilience, and connection to the earth. Across time, memory became the greatest inheritance, linking past and future. If you had to carry your family's history and traditions through hardship, what would you hold on to? Comment and subscribe at History TV for more hidden history.